I'm on the phone with Christopher Dabeck, the president and CEO of modelspay.com. And today, Christopher, what we're going to cover is how to write a hit piece that destroys your competitors and positions your brand as the good guy. And you came to mind because of the business that you're in and that there are so many people in it who are unethical out there. So this is a way to get published as an authority and to position yourself very strongly in every profession, whether it's real estate agents, marketers, especially the people I work with, lawyers, modeling agencies like yours. There are people who do things that hurt other people. Maybe they gouge their clients, maybe they misrepresent things, whatever it is. There are people out there who do things that we both know are really, really wrong. So the first step in writing a hit piece article is to identify every unethical practice that your competitors engage in. For example, in my business of legal recruiting, it is very, very common to poach from clients. As a matter of fact, these people are so good at being con men. They have come up with this quote-unquote NALSE Code of Ethics. And what it says is, let's say you were a law firm and you paid me $100,000 because I found you a good partner-level attorney for your firm to start working in New York. Tomorrow, I could quote-unquote ethically start recruiting from your DC office and your LA office. And in order to be really ethical, I have to wait 6 months and 1 day to start recruiting from your New York office again. Think about that. I mean, how ridiculous is that? Okay. So I wrote an article entitled How Legal Recruiters Screw Everybody and What You Can Do About It. My editor changed the title, toned it down a little bit. But what you do is you take all the unethical practices and then you write them down. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to form an outline for your article based on the AIDA formula. And for anyone who's not familiar with AIDA, it's every ad, every piece, whatever it is, should first get your attention, and then it should keep your interest, and then it should create a strong enough desire for the viewer to take some sort of action. Now, in this case, the desire is actually anger. My goal in writing these articles is that someone reading them will say, holy smokes, my legal recruiter is screwing me. I'm pissed. What's ultimately most important here is that you offer solutions so that they can either avoid getting screwed in the first place or stop getting screwed by the people they're working with. For example, in the article I wrote, I provided a provision for contracts that said any recruiter should have a 5-year firm-wide prohibition from recruiting from your law firm if you've paid them a fee. And if you catch them placing one of your attorneys somewhere else, then you should put in writing and they should sign that they owe you the amount of the last fee you paid them. Now that's a serious deterrent to unethical behavior. By the way, I got some rather interesting emails from my competitors that were interesting. Let's just say it. They were really pissed off. And that's a great way to tell if you're an innovator. If you're pissing off all the people who are doing things the way they've always done them, then you're doing something different. That's a good sign. Now, the next thing that is really important, and you know this better than most people, is coming up with a good title for the article. Because click-through rates are largely dependent upon two things, and that's the visual, so whether you have an impression, a photo, whatever, and the title. If you don't have an interesting enough title, they're not even going to see the article. So you finish the article, and then you submit it to one media outlet at a time on spec, meaning you're not looking to get paid for it, because the few $100 or whatever you might get for writing an article is nowhere near the tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands that you can make from getting such an article published, because it only takes the eye of one CEO or a potential client to turn that small article into a big commission, a big gig, a big payout, or a big paying client. And so the last thing I'll leave you with is that I recycle this article. So I recycle this article once every year to 2 years. I'm constantly looking out for stories or things from my clients or people in the profession or related professions. Hey, what are they doing out there that they should not be doing? Because as things change, scammers come up with new ways to scam. And so I'll include that new content and recycle the article. And if I don't get it published anywhere, if I send it out to 20 places, then I'll just post it on my blog because it's still helpful. And that way I've gotten the most out of my efforts.